On this edition of Crash Course, we will be covering the topic of fiscal policy.
There are two major ways to influence the economy, through monetary and fiscal policy. Both of these interventionist ideas are largely based off the ideas of British economist John Maynard Keynes, who believed governments could change economic performance by adjusting tax rates and government spending.
John Maynard Keynes wrote the book on modern macro, the man you need when the economy's off track. Depression, recession, now your question's in session. Have a seat and I'll school you in one simple lesson. Boom.
Monetary policy is how the Federal Reserve influences the economy. Within monetary policy, there are three tools that the Federal Reserve can use to manipulate the economy how they want. They can control interest rates, the bank reserve requirements, and open market policy, which is controlling the amount of money in circulation through bond buying programs.
Fiscal policy, on the other hand, is how the federal government uses the tools of spending and taxation to influence the economy. There are two major kinds of fiscal policy, expansionary and contractionary.
Expansionary fiscal policy is used when the economy is slow or in a recession and the government wants to stabilize the economy. In this case, they would lower taxes and increase government spending to stimulate businesses and consumer spending to jumpstart the economy.
Conversely, contractionary fiscal policy is used when the government wants to slow down the economy. In this case, they would increase taxes and lower government spending to control inflation rates and stabilize prices.
Why are these policies important? By using these policies, the government can control inflation, help reach maximum employment, stabilize prices, and reduce poverty.
This is President FDR following the Keynesian model in an attempt to recover the American economy after the Great Depression.
Our greatest primary task is to put people to work. This is no unsolvable problem if we face it wisely and courageously. It can be accomplished in part by direct recruiting by the government itself, treating the task as we would treat the emergency of a war.
For most of our nation's history, our government has not used either of these policies, and instead has followed the idea of laissez-faire. It wasn't until the Great Depression that the government felt that it should take a more active role in shaping the economy. Therefore, the government started on a path of interventionism to stabilize the economy.
Since then, the government has played an increasing role in the economy, using policies in times of recession and expansion.
Most recently, in 2008, when the economy went into a severe economic downturn and millions of people lost their jobs, the government felt that it was their responsibility to help its people, so they used fiscal policy tools.
As part of this, the government passed a series of economic stimulus and bailout packages to help struggling businesses.
However, due to the government's increasing role in spending, the national debt has increased dramatically.
Though the government's plan of interventionism can bring the economy out of a recession sooner than it otherwise might, the policy is not perfect, and a defined set of goals needs to be placed out to see a positive outcome.
If it's laid out in a pretty clear way how they're going to do it, I think now there's a great deal of uncertainty. The balance sheet is so big. How are they going to do it? What's the speed? So I've been arguing that they lay out more of a strategy that they're going to follow as they reduce the balance sheet. I think that would be helpful if they did that.
Thank you for watching this episode of Crash Course.